In this video, I want to talk to you about joints and the effects that the floor or a hard surface can have on them. So when we go through a joint, every joint in our body has a range of motion. So our elbow, for example, it can straighten fully and then it can bend. It's our job to maintain the range of motion that we have. And in order to maintain it, we have to get to end range. So let me give you an example. Let's say you have a young boy and he breaks his arm and they have to put him in a cast so that his bone can heal. Well, 8 weeks later, his bone is healed, but his elbow is stiff. That's because he wasn't able to maintain his range of motion and he wasn't able to get to end range throughout those 8 weeks. So now we move over to the floor. If you have not been on the floor for a long time, or the thought of the floor scares you, or you think it might make you stiff, it's probably because you've not spent enough time in it, A, or B, spent too much time in a chair. When we get on the floor, that exposes some of the deficits that we have. Maybe our hips don't have enough range of motion or flexibility, or maybe our spines don't. The next one is when you are on the floor, or again, a firm surface, the surface of the floor can stretch and decompress areas that have been really stiff for a long time. We're going to go through some ways to utilize the floor or a firm surface to help you regain your birthright of good full range of motion in your joints. Everyone should be able to spend some time on the floor. Remember, it exposes some joint deficits and it also stretches out some areas that might have gotten stiff over time because of the constant sitting on couches, chairs, and in our cars. So start off like this. Try to sit crisscross. See how it makes you feel. From here, you can kind of see if your hips are stiff, if your back is hurting. Just stay here for a little bit of time. Then you can move on to long sitting. These are just easy places to be on the floor. If you have a lot of pain or anything, you don't want to get off the floor immediately. Stay here. Try to switch positions a little bit. See if you can get more comfortable. But if your pain is too high, I just urge you to come off the floor and we're going to talk about a solution for that. While you're in long sitting, let's look at your ankles. Flex them, pull them back, in and out. Just take a look, take a note of what they're doing. Your knee, you want to get it to end range. Remember, we're trying to pull it all the way and then straighten it all the way. Do both sides, of course. And then how about your hips? This is called a box sit. 90 degrees here, 90 degrees here. Can my hips rotate enough so that I can stay in this position? This is hip internal rotation. This is external rotation. You could switch sides very easily, just like this. Always check both sides. You may find some asymmetries. I'm a little stiffer on this side. That's okay. Just kind of take note of them and then just breathe and relax into them. After that, we're going to go to your back. Now this position, you really see that part of my spine is kind of decompressed. Other parts are stretched. Just take some deep breaths. Take note of how you feel in this position. You can bend your knees to flatten your low back a little bit. Spend some time here reading, watching TV, spending time with your family. It doesn't really matter. Just see how you feel in this position. The last one is going to be on your stomach. This position here, you get a nice low back stretch. Again, just see how you feel. You can read a little bit, watch TV, spend time with your family, whatever you want to do. You can play with your dog or cat, whatever it is. Just spend time here and just see how your back and your neck and all your joints feel. Going back to your back, or let's go back to crisscross. Don't forget about your shoulders. Make sure they can go all the way back to end range. Put them behind your head, just like this. I urge you to explore the floor a lot more. Spend time, that really rhymed, but that's okay. We're gonna stay with that. I want you to stay on the floor and just explore your body and move your joints through their ranges of motion and see how it feels.